Hey guys, so I'd figure I'd talk about the focus mode reticle here. Some of you may already know about this, but I just figure I'd talk about it for the sake of completeness. So basically, if you hit the wound, and it's basically tenderizing, just not tenderizing from Monster Hunter World Iceborne. It's, it's beating up the part. You'll get that white scarring, and I've been calling it a pre-wound. Not really sure what the community is calling it or what people are settling on calling these. But basically, it's just telling you if you hit that a little bit more, it's going to turn into a real wound like this. I think most people already know that, but I just wanted to talk about the reticle a little bit. So if I look at, if I'm not looking at the monster, it looks like that, right? If I look at a monster part that doesn't have pre-wounds, it looks like that. If I, create the pre-wound here, it looks like that. It looks a little brighter on the north prong and the southwest prong and the southeast prong. And if I look at the wound itself, it actually has the same reticle, but obviously the wound is glowing. Now, why do I bring that up? Well, the weapons in Monster Hunter, they can actually change what you do when you do a focus strike on a pre-wound here. If I just do a focus strike on this no wound and no pre-scarring, if I just do it here, I get one hit. But if I do it on the pre-wound here, I get Drill Slash, which is from Monster Hunter Rise, and it does a lot of damage. And I did the DPS analysis. It's actually, I think it's one of the highest single burst damage sources in the game. I mean, it's not the highest, but it's pretty damn high. So just look at that. So you get like the 2 strikes, and then you get like 3 drill slashes out of that. Additionally, I think most Sword and Shield users already know this, but after you do a drill strike, you can do a spinning reaper out of that and a charge chop 2 out of that as well. So some other things about the reticle, the reticle is just going to change based on what it's actually pointing at on your screen, right? So if I like point in this gap here, then it doesn't see the wound, but if I point it here, it's going to see the wound. It seems like when it looks through parts, it's pretty consistent. When if I'm looking at this side part, it's I don't get that change in the reticle, but maybe if I can kind of see through a little bit, then yeah, I get a change there. So I'm not 100% sure if it's like looking through. See, like even here, I feel like I'm pointing at the side part, but it's still looking and seeing the wound part. I mean, if I was looking through this little hole here, maybe it doesn't register the cloth as part of this side part. So it's probably seeing, if it doesn't include the card, it's probably seeing that front part there, and that's what's registering there. And then kind of once I, move along to this side part here, it still turns back to the weaker reticle. A couple things about the focus strike too, and the reticle also changes the height at which you do the focus strike, and this is actually easier to see if I just turn off focus mode right after I trigger the focus strike. So if I go down, I do this, you can see I kind of poke down a little. Yeah, so you can see I'm kind of poking down. I think that's actually the lowest you can go for Sword and Shield, but you can actually go quite high with Sword and Shield. So something like this. See how high I can poke with there? And the reason I bring that up is because if you understand the hitbox of the weapon and how it can trigger the focus strikes, it doesn't really matter what the reticle is saying, right? So like I could actually, I believe I can get a focus strike if I poke through here, like if I aim down. See? Something like that. So at least for Sword and Shield, it feels like the trigger point for the focus strike is at the very end and the very tip. So that's kind of an advantage to Sword and Shield. There's a lot of weapons in the game, and probably not going to get to it right now, but I feel like you just have to experiment with your weapon and see like where the actual hitbox is. I do feel some weapons are weaker than others. Sword and Shield and dual blades, I feel like they can actually reach pretty far and even through monster parts sometimes. One that I felt was pretty weak, unfortunately, was Switch Axe. I was trying to play around with the Switch Axe here, and we got a wound there. See, like I don't think this is going to be able to hit through. Like even though the reticle does see it, even though like I'm in the same place that the Sword and Shield was, I don't think that's going to hit. Yeah. Maybe some weapons have some better range on their focus strike than others. So TLDR, I would use the reticle change as a way to identify pre-wounds quicker. And the other takeaway is, it really doesn't matter what the reticle is actually aiming at. All that matters is your hitbox, right? So like here, I'm aiming at the ground. The reticle doesn't indicate a wound, but if I just press my focus strike, obviously I get a focus strike there. Anyways, hope that demystified the reticle system and focus mode a little bit more. So I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.